For more on the golf economy, let's bring now in Mike Bako, who is joining us live from Orlando. He is the sports managing editor at dailynational.com. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me, Jessica.
So listen, when I think of places to play great golf, I don't think of France. I think of Scotland, Ireland, maybe South Africa. How popular is golf in France right now?
Well, it's not as popular as in those locations, but that's the whole point of why they made such a great effort back in 2011 and even before that to get the bid for this Ryder Cup. It's because those other nations have these destination locations. Certainly the birthplace of golf in Scotland. Paris has a long way to go and France has a long way to go to get to that stature, but this is a first step to introducing the game to the Parisian people, to France as a country, making it a tourist destination, putting it on a global scale. And certainly this year, one of the great things that they were able to have Tiger Woods just winning a golf tournament last week, certainly coming there, riding high with a lot of media attention, bringing the media exposure, not only to Paris, to the locations where they're going to be having the Ryder Cup, but just to the entire entity of this Ryder Cup this year.
Well, they've had some beautiful weather for it. How did France come to host this event? What's the story behind that?
Sure. I mean, much like any organizing committee, whether it be for an Olympic Games for the summer or the winter, it was a concerted effort. You see these concerted efforts go into getting these large-scale events, whether it be an Olympic Games, a World Cup, certainly these global events. You really need to have government buy-in, business buy-in, certainly the tourism impact, but also the infrastructure and a willingness to build. One of the big things that drove this bid back when they made it in the early 2010s was that they would build infrastructure in terms of golf courses, educational facilities, urban golf courses. They built almost 100 new golf courses over the last 10 years, small urban pitch and putt, 9-hole golf centers to introduce the game to the French people, so that when this Ryder Cup did come and was on home soil, it wasn't as if an event was just being plopped in without any sort of recognition or acceptance from the Parisian people. So this was a concerted effort not only to put together a bid, but once that bid was accepted, to build upon it and to build to this point where now we're seeing the grassroots effort really showing in terms of interest and local enthusiasm for the event.
So 100 urban golf courses in 10 years, that does not come cheap. We did hear that the estimate for how much this is going to gain is something like $1.5 billion. First of all, what's your take on whether that figure is about right, and will they make back their investment and then some?
Sure. I mean, you're never going to make it back with this one tournament. You're never going to be able to have $1 billion worth of revenue from tourism, from people coming in, even from TV rights and just brand exposure that comes along with these things. A lot of people on my side of the fence will say, from just a media exposure standpoint, they were able to get 100 million, 150 million just in goodwill and recognition. It doesn't quite work out that way. One of the things that you really have to look at is if we have the same conversation 10 years from now, will there be 200 golf courses? Will it come close to overtaking tennis as the #1 individual sport in France? Will there be a new generation of golfers? Will organizations and brands be able to sell more golf equipment and build more stores and sell more apparel? So this is really a big infusion and a big investment for this event, but really hoping to see the rewards of this over the next decade or so with growing golf and growing young golfers.
Do we have any kind of historical example to look at about how the Ryder Cup or a similar event, maybe the President's Cup, brought popularity to a place for golf that hadn't had it before?
Yeah, I think you could look back to the 1990s and with Spain hosting the Ryder Cup. The captain of that team, Seve Ballesteros, a national treasure, hosting the Ryder Cup there, really growing the brand of golf there, the interest of golf. And when you look at the people that go around for golf vacations, golf tourism, if you will, a lot of them are now coming from Spain, and they're able to market to that place. And other European nations that when you think of where golf is most popular, you're thinking about England, you're thinking about Wales and Scotland and places like that. So this is really going to put France's footprint into that global revenue stream, if you will. Hopefully what they're hoping for are people coming to some of their destination golf courses. And I think that's what this Ryder Cup will probably do, expose a national and international audience to, hey, you know what? We don't have to go to Wales. ourselves. We don't have to go to the U.S. If we are in one of these countries, we could go to France.
Mike Bako live for us from Orlando on the Ryder Cup in France. Thanks so much for your time.